Fantasy is escapist, and that is its glory. If a soldier is imprisoned by the enemy, don't we consider it his duty to escape? If we value the freedom of mind and soul, if we're partisans of liberty, then it's our duty to escape, and to take as many people with us as we can. That famous quote is from renowned fantasy author Ursula K. Le Guin, not Tolkien, to whom it is often accredited. You've probably seen it incorrectly attributed to Tolkien, but that is probably because Le Guin was paraphrasing Tolkien's highly influential essay on fairy stories, where he goes into detail on the benefits of escapism. If you're curious, I'm sure you can find a copy of it online somewhere, but I wanted to focus on the message from these two pillars of the fantasy community, that escaping is the duty of those who wish to be free. Think about that for a second. Escapism is a duty. Welcome once again to Musings by Danon. If you're new here, my name is Danon. I've been watching anime since 1985, and I'm currently reading over 500 manga or light novel series. As someone who has read a lot of manga and seen a lot of anime, as well as studied genre and story structure, I feel I have a pretty good grasp on which manga are worth your time, depending on your tastes. Which brings us to the subject of today's video, Isekai, as Tolkien intended. But before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and it's free. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. I do not love the bright sword for its sharpness, nor the arrow for its swiftness, nor the warrior for his glory. I love only that which they defend. This line, written by Tolkien and spoken by Faramir to Frodo in The Two Towers, is one of the quotes this video will be focusing on. The other quote is, "If more of us valued food and cheer and song above hoarded gold, it would be a merrier world." This is the last line Thorin said to Bilbo before he passed away, and it resonates throughout all of Tolkien's works. As a man who had seen the horrors of war up close and personal, Tolkien valued friendship, food, and good company far more than riches or wealth. And the hobbits embraced that philosophy. Other Tolkien scholars go into this much more in detail than I intend to here. We're here to talk about anime and manga, specifically Farming Life in Another World, along with some other series with similar appeal. I already read the manga for Farming Life in Another World, so the anime didn't bring any surprises with it. I did catch up watching it recently and enjoyed every second of it. For those who haven't watched the series, let me give you a quick summary. Hiraku dies of an illness on Earth and is given the opportunity to reincarnate by God. God asks him what he'll do and offers him a boon. Hiraku says he wants a healthy body that won't get sick and the opportunity to be a farmer. God, impressed by Hiraku's humility, also grants him the almighty farming tool, which turns out to be insanely powerful, but I'll let you watch and see what Hiraku does with it. Hiraku builds himself a shelter and begins farming. He creates a fence to protect his crops, winds up adopting some wolves as pets, becomes neighbors with a giant spider, and starts what eventually becomes a fairly populated village. The fun part about the village is the power level of the people living there. The wolves are actually inferno wolves, a monster dangerous enough to single-handedly wipe out a village, and he has a pack of them. They enjoy playing fetch with Hiraku and anyone else willing to toss a frisbee. The spider? It is known as the demon spider. Not a demon spider, the demon spider. It is an even match for a dragon. Speaking of dragons, he has a couple of them living in the village, alongside some very powerful angels, a couple of royal vampires, some demon nobles, and a host of other creatures and monsters all living peacefully in his village. The village also causes a huge headache for the Demon Lord and the other cities surrounding the forest the village is located in. Everyone is scared to death of the overwhelming military might assembled in such a small place. What kind of monster is Hiraku if he can tame all of these insanely powerful people? What is causing them all to be gathered under his banner? Why? Because the village is peaceful. There is good food, good entertainment, and everyone is happy to work if it means they get to enjoy delicious food at the end of the day. The alcohol in the hot springs are also a huge draw. This is what Tolkien was talking about. Forget about gold or arcane knowledge or amassing an army of Uruk-hai to destroy Rohan. The world is a better place when people value good food above hoarded gold. I started this video with the LeGuin quote about escapism. Escapism is what Isekai offers us. The world is bleak. Japan has an incredibly high suicide rate. They work the longest hours out of any country in the world. They have a severely declining birth rate because people are too busy working and don't have time or energy to raise children. But what if you found yourself in another world? What if you were an immortal witch who lived on a hill overlooking a village? Sure, you should work a little bit to sustain yourself, maybe go out of your way to help a neighbor, but you don't work 14 hours a day in the office 7 days a week. You've got this village of all-powerful, world-destroying monsters, and the single biggest crisis they face is when a slime drank a barrel of wine. They were concerned that they wouldn't have enough alcohol to last the winter. I adore series that have all-powerful characters just wanting to be left in peace and enjoy life. Fortunately, there are other series out there that fit this genre. One of my all-time favorites is Now I'm a Demon Lord, Happily Ever After with the Monster Girls in My Dungeon, which is available over on Bookwalker. You've got the story of a man with incredible power who partners with the Supreme Dragon, the most powerful creature in the world, and his goal is to have fun playing games in his dungeon. There's also I Want to Live a Slow Life in the Countryside After Reincarnation, which doesn't have an official release yet, but is a delightful series about a man who's reincarnated as the youngest son of a noble, and his only goal in life is to avoid his muscle-headed sister and her constant desire to train and spar. A manga series you can get right now is Chillin' in Another World with level 2 super cheat powers, which has 2 volumes available. It's about a merchant who gets summoned from one fantasy world to another, finds out he has superpowers, and decides to use them to enjoy a peaceful life with his new beautiful wife. You've got another series similar to that one. Guy gets summoned, claims he doesn't have any powers, unlike the other humans who were also summoned along with him, gets sent to the countryside, fishes up a mermaid princess who becomes his wife, becomes friends with the Apocalypse Dragon and the Undead King who just happen to be neighbors, and wins them all over with the power of good food. The title for that one is Let's Buy the Land and Cultivate in a Different World, and it's by the same author as another anime currently airing, Chillin' in My 30s After Getting Fired from the Demon King's Army. Series like this are what fantasy is all about, and they reflect what is lacking in humanity right now. Speculative fiction, horror, science fiction, fantasy, all change to suit the desires of the author and show the problems in reality. There are no bosses yelling at you to get back to work or blaming you for their own screw-ups. No packing into a train first thing in the morning to try and make it to the office by 8 a.m. No landlords raising the rent while never fixing anything. I believe a lot of people in Japan are unhappy with how their society is right now, which explains the popularity and oversaturation of the Isekai genre. I can't really blame them for wanting to escape, and neither should you. After all, escapism is our duty. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cute Stuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, there's a link to her Fiverr page below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. There are several tiers to choose from. You can pick an anime or manga for me to do a video about, or you can join our monthly manga club. If you're looking for Commander content, I split my channel last year, so all new Commander videos are over on my other channel, Commander by Danon. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons, Waffles, Jiraiya, Muffins, Marcus, Phoenix Vice, Squishy, Brett, Roxy, Brian, Josh, Sean, Holton, Richard, Pog Zombie, and Ing. You guys are awesome. I post anime or manga videos often, or you can click here to watch additional videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Musings by Danon.